Like a lot of your upcoming artists are not gonna get any money. Labels are not giving you no advances. Like maybe like if you should come dope, if you have like a track record of like platinum singles and hits and whatever, you got leverage. If you A Reese got streams or whatever, you got leverage. Nasty C, you got leverage. I now have leverage. I got my plex, I got my streams, I got this. I have proof of concept. I can go and show brands and like I don't do this for me, man. I do it so that like you guys know you guys can do this too. You know, there's nothing special about me, though. I mean, I do my thing. You know, I do my thing, and I'm special at it. But it doesn't mean that you're not special too. You know, you can do this as well. They rejected a Nasty C song, rejected a Stogie T song, rejected a Touchline song. You know, so when you guys don't get that kind of music, it's not me. You know what I'm saying? But that music is still gonna come out nonetheless, you know. You know, for them. And then I say to them, with me, I'm pulling out to the Beamer. I got the Pretty Ugly merchandise. This is 2012, and there's just this guy in the studio. You know, he also take a picture with me. I'm like, yeah, sure. You know, we take a picture. You know, I move on with my life. Life moves on. Years later, we get a superstar in South Africa. This guy, his name is MT. Damn. Right? When MT blows up, after roll up and all of that, I'm talking about big MT at his highest. And I was just like, man, anytime I see this guy on TV or something, I'm like, dog, I know this guy from somewhere. I don't know where I know this guy from. And then someone had posted a picture of me in my Raza studio back in 2012. And the kid that I took a picture with, like with the dusted shoes, and the guy who just like was saying like, yo, man, you know, I like what you're doing. One day I want to be like you guys. It was MT. You know what I'm saying?
One thing you guys got to remember, we're Africans, you know? Yeah. And there's a power in that. We shouldn't let Eurocentric ideas and Eurocentric things keep us down, things that were introduced. I made an album called Anxiety, but like looking back at it now, there's a kind of shame I feel, because I feel like I gave people a crutch, you know? Instead of facing your challenges head on and remembering that you're an African child and there's a power in that, you give up to mental ideas that are not real, you know? Imagine if right now it was back in the day, before the buildings, before technology and stuff, and there were people coming to our village to kidnap women and to make children slaves and to kill all the men. Do you want to be the African man that's got anxiety and you don't want to go outside and fight?
No, hell nah.
You know, do you want to fight for your family? Do you want to fight for your life? Or are you the anxious guy? You know? So I say that to say this. Mental things, as much as they weigh heavy on us, you must always remember, man, there's a power in rising above, and there's a power in believing in yourself, and there's a power in being African and knowing that every single day I have to get up and make a better life for my family, and that's all that matters. Life has challenges. Whatever challenge you face, there's a bigger one coming in 5 years and you're going to forget this one. Whatever challenge you face today, there's a bigger one in 15 years and you would have forgotten about the one you face today. Just bob and weave and keep moving, man. Thank you, everybody, for supporting my brother again.
What up, my fair tools? The WorldWideWebb is WorldWideWebb. I'm out here in Braamfontein. I'm at the Buka right now. Came for the Pretty Ugly listening session as DLX is dropping. So yeah, with my busted up camera, my busted up quality, I'm gonna try and whip something up just to capture the moment, you know. And yeah, man, this is an open invitation for anybody who's trying to be a videographer for the World Wide Web. Hit me up, man. Let's collaborate. I mean, as you can see, I'm out here alone, bro. But it should be some fun. Pretty ugly listening session. We out. I think that's pretty. That should be pretty ugly, yo.
It's a listening session. It's a listening experience, you know. So I'm actually gonna need. I'm asking for a favor, Jay. You're gonna need silence. I'm not performing any of the music. Listening session.
Wanna show me your number, or wanna show me your trauma, or an alarmza. You gotta why, you gotta ranta. Wanna show me down any kind. I'm trying to turn these bands to a couple pounds, to a couple diamonds. And I'm gonna need rubies and emeralds in my pencil. I'm like the devil, she is special. She lives in the rap, not heavy metal. You ain't cooking your walls, get really metal. I'm in my car, you can get bit in the dark. Jumping your fingers to shark, they're picking up, they can take part. I can take this and can pick you apart. feet every time we ever meet. White boys got the space for me, but my cousin doing time for 7 trees. One man NET, you would think it's 10 of me, oh it's 17. You see the energy for the APO is crazy.
Yeah. So that's my signature intro, by the way, like the you know what I'm saying? I already had that in mind. So as soon as like the beat dropped, I was like, nah, what's happening? No way, dog. Nah. You get what I'm saying? So of course, man, I'm from the Val with my lingo. I had to represent. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's actually the second attempt, because the first attempt I wanted to rap, and then Casper was like, "Yo, you gotta be more commercial about it." But I liked what you did with that with Salamu, because I already had that unlocked. So when it came back, I was like, "Yo, let me just play with this." You get what I'm saying? So yeah, biggest shout out to the OG and shout out to Priddy, dog. Shout out to Val. Thank you very much.
So the Machiavelli, the whole reference stuff is crazy on the album, man. Like, shout out to that, man.
Yo, man, thank you so much. Yeah, man, I was in the studio with Herc, and yeah, man, I was just missing AKA that day. And I've been playing "The World Is Yours." "The World Is Yours" is my favorite AKA track, you know. Yeah, and I was just like, yo, man, I want to make something like this, but not like this, you know. But like, just with that energy of like Super Mega. The song was actually titled Super Mega initially, and then we just dropped the Mega. But like, it's really inspired by Super. Rest in peace. Cut the Lights did amazing on that, you know. Shout out to her.
Shout out.
Yeah, that was the second last track on the deluxe. This last one, it's called YOY, and yeah, this one is like one of those rap ones, you know, like rap ones, you know. So I think the rap guys will like it. You know, I pride myself on like I really like to try and make like an impact on my intros, and like to really like give it like a nice closing. So like my intros and my outros are like my favorite, you know. Yeah, this is the outro. It's called YOY. It's produced by Shooter Combs and Marcus Harvey. The story behind this one, I'll be honest, like we worked on a couple of records that we sent to a label, and the kids just kept rejecting a whole bunch of songs. They rejected a Nasty C song, rejected a Stogie T song, rejected a Touchline song, you know. So when you guys don't get that kind of music, it's not me, you know what I'm saying? But that music is still gonna come out nonetheless, you know. And then I said to them, I was like, hey, okay, like I don't know what you guys want. Then you guys tell me. This is coming after winning a soundbar, so I was like, yo, I don't know how I feel about still trying to audition myself and prove myself. But I'm like, hey, okay. You guys tell me what you guys want me to do. Like, maybe you guys write it, you know? And they didn't do that. They just sent me a beat. They sent me 2 beats. And yeah, this is one of the ones I chose. I didn't even know who actually produced the song. I just like, they sent me the beat, I recorded on it, I sent them back the song. Only now when we're doing like the publishing stuff am I finding out, I'm like, oh, that's the Shooter Coombs and Marcus Harvey song. And I got love from them guys. No, that's respect. I'm not throwing shades on anybody, you know? That's crazy. But yeah, listen to this, a dope record. I think the producer did an amazing job as well on this one.
Lord, why Jabba choose to die? Why Ricky had that suit when he sighed? And why was it a noose and not a tie? Why every weekend we had funerals and food and a tie? Why mama had that bruise on her eye? Why daddy had to shoot to survive? And why Flubber lose his life to a knife? I'm confused, the accused was the muse in his life. Why mama had that bruise on her eye? Why daddy had to shoot to survive? Why Flubber lost his life to a knife? I'm confused, the accused was abused in his life. Why? Not everybody gets to live or they're alive. Some live in life and some live it to survive. Some didn't like, multiplied and didn't die. Some learn to fly, there isn't limits to the sky. Not everybody gets to live Lord, why, oh, why? But they'd rather have you die than they
There's been trauma behind this music, so I also haven't been playing this music as much. I've been sitting on this music for almost a year, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, but I'm just happy that it's finally coming out. You guys are here hearing it with me. You know what I say? Lord, why Jabba choose to die? Why Ricky had that suit in his side? And why was it a noose and not a tie? Why every weekend we have funerals in suit and a tie? Why mama had a bruise in her eye? Why my daddy had a shoe to survive? And why Flubber lose his life to a knife? I'm confused, the accused was amused in his life. Yeah, you know, everything is everything. You get knocked down, you get up, you already win. Find your balance, keep a steady kick, and you could cry that boy a bloody river, I bet he swim. I bet he swim. Got family that will kill for me, we barely kin. Ever had your tummy so empty that the belly sing? If anything, life's like an episode of Jerry Spring. Everybody's scared of think, and baby boys are wearing pink. And why am I Juta acting lackluster? Tapping plenty plastic girls and you don't pack rubbers? You can't love her, but want your mama in her pants under. Hope that everybody sleeping on me have a bad slumber. And mad brothers sleep easy while their man suffer. And even Judas was seated at Jesus' Last Supper. You can't build a thing in the world if you lack structure. There's two things. Scats bust ya or tax fucks ya. That's the only cuss word I put on the song. I don't do this for me, man. I do it something like, you guys know that you guys can do this too, you know. There's nothing special about me, though. I mean, I do my thing. You know, I do my thing. And I'm special at it. But it doesn't mean that you're not special too, you know. You can do this as well. So it's like, when people say like, yo, Priddy Ugly raps about death so much, like, what's that about? It's like, I just mentioned in our industry, not even far, 3 people who passed away just on this song. Ricky, Jabba, Flava, violently. You know what I'm saying? Flava lost his life to his partner who had stabbed him. Ricky took his life. Jabba took his life. You know, these are all people that I actually knew, like, personally. These are my OGs, you know. I used to be that guy, like, my parents know it. Like, you know, I was in the studio with GoPro Kid, with WHP, and, like, when those guys were on, they come up, I was, like, the kid in the studio, like, being the fly on the wall, just watching. You know what I'm saying? Just, like, waiting for my opportunity, you know, like, I'll be there, like, gang, studio sessions, you know. Sometimes I go to studio sessions, the Machita, and I never leave a verse. But I never stop coming to studio. I'm like, yo, one day these guys are gonna know who I am. Because for now, I'm just that lighty in the studio, you know. And I think it's a very profound thing because, like, a couple of years ago, when I say a couple of years ago, I'm talking about Boma 2012. I'm pulling up to my Raza spot. And we're pulling up to my Raza spot. I'm pulling up there with the Beamer E46, Blue Magic. You guys can see it on the Bula Boot music video. There's a Bula Boot music video, right? And I'm just in the studio with my Raza, Zinga, he smashes at the time, we're vibing, we're recording or whatever. But there's a bunch of other guys in the studio just sitting with us, you know? But like, we the guys. I'm especially the guy maybe in that time, you know, for them. Because like, they're looking at me, I'm pulling out to the Beamer, I've got the Priddy Ugly merchandise, this is 2012. And there's just this guy in the studio, you know, he also take a picture with me. I'm like, yeah, sure, you know, we take a picture, you know. I move on with my life moves on. Years later, we get a superstar in South Africa, guy, his name is MT. Right, when MT blows up, after roll up and all of that, I'm talking about my, big MT at his highest. And I was just like, man, anytime I see this guy on TV or something, I'm like, I know this guy from somewhere, I don't know where I know this guy from. And then someone had posted a picture of me in my Raza studio back in 2012, and the kid that I took a picture with, like with the dusted shoes, and the guy who just like was saying like, yo man, you know, I like what you're doing, one day I want to be like you guys, was MT, you know what I'm saying? Now imagine if I had treated him like he wasn't nothing. And I was still like, yo, bro, like, you can do it. I wish you all. I'd never heard anything from him. And it's like that. I think it's also just a reminder to like people, like, just be kind, guys. You know, we don't know what people are dealing with, and we're all creators. You know, let's give each other chances, but also don't audition your stuff for me, because you guys shouldn't try and impress me, because I'm not the one that's gonna queue up like buying the albums and that kind of thing. You know, like build your community. I'm saying that because like a lot of jitters, they hit up my DMs. Everywhere I go, dudes want to rap for me, which is dope. It's dope, you know. I was like, I can't change your life, bro. And you rapping for me is dope. You can rap, but maybe that's the only thing I can do for you, to let you know that you rap. Maybe that gives you validation. But it's like I said, it's like I'm not the one who's buying your CD. So like, work on the community, work on your fans, respond to your fans, build with that. Start little by little. You know, start with a room of 50 people, and then like maybe the next listening session we take it to a different place. Like this is the second time I ever hosted an event. Well, it's Pretty ugly. When I was young, I hosted a lot of events, but it's pretty. And the only reason why I haven't done it is because of like imposter syndrome. I'm like scared. Like, yo, what if people don't pull up? Like I was planning this thing with MK and my boys, and I'll say this embarrassingly, but like I was almost hoping like it doesn't work out, because I'm like, because if we do it, like, I'm gonna have to take out money. Somewhere money is gonna come out, and I don't have the money for you. Yo, come up with sound. Yo, we think about the venue. Yo, drinks. Yo, what are we gonna do? Hey, I don't know. But I just live by faith, and I was with people that I believed in. And like every day, they kept reminding me, PZ24, Haircut the Lights. They sat with me like last week, and they were the ones who were like, yo, so your album is dropping? You're not doing a listening session? I'm like, dog, you know, like, bro, I did the music, and then I did the admin of all the music, and then I was fighting in the background for this music, and now I still like I'm gonna still do a listening session out of my own pocket, and then shoot videos out of my own pocket. But like, what are these people for if I'm doing this? But it's like I also have to remember that like I was like a very negative way to think about it, because it's still my music. I put my heart and soul into this stuff. You hear this music? Like I was conflicted, because initially I was like, do I want to give them like such fire records, West Side Boogie, whatever? And like I don't know what they're gonna do with it, but like that means I wouldn't be trusting in myself and trusting in God. Because like I'm gonna make more songs. These are not gonna be the last ones you hear, you know what I'm saying? And that's just to say that like I'm out here, I'm very active. There's more Pretty Ugly music dropping for sure. You know? Thank you guys so much, man. The journey has been amazing. Dust really changed my life, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, it came at a time when like I really just was just feeling like all of this stuff is not like really like worth it, you know? And you guys showed up for me. It's because of you guys that I'm standing here. It's because of you guys that we're doing this thing, you know?
Yeah.
It's like because of you guys, outside nigga shot like a zaka, but like it's so worth it. You know what I'm saying? It's so worth it, bro.
And the other thing, I'm gonna give out the mic for the Q&A just quickly, but I just wanna elaborate on, you know, artists also suffering on like the depression side of this thing and the violent side of it. What do you think it should be the solution in terms of stuff like that? Because I feel like in spaces like this, especially if you open it up on a song, I want to touch more on it, because for me it affects me in different ways, because it was in my crew and all of that. How do you keep your mind straight? Because I know you train, I know you got dogs, I know you got family. How do you come out clean out of this thing? Because we know how much, you know, it can break a human being. And I know there's aspiring like musicians in the crowd, and sometimes you see it from the outside. And, you know, when you go on the inside, there's other things that you deal with. Just you know, share how do you deal with that. And I want to go back again to the point that you made about like, yo, I gotta take out my own money, yo. I gotta wake up, I gotta do this. At the end of the day, you know, you can be signed with anybody or whatever. When you're hot, they will sign you. But you're gonna go independent, because when you're not hot, you're gonna have to do the work yourself. And I'm proud that, you know, these people put you at the corner so that you can figure those things out. Like, I was with 8 members in my crew. 5 of them do music. One of the earlier nigga that was like, yo, this is my money. I want t-shirts fresh. Go make match for me. Go create a stage for me. Groups Catch, you could see the fruits of it after some time. So I applaud you on that for doing that for this one. And there will be many more, because you're going independent. So and we upstairs. So
Danke,
we're
Indy.
there for you as well. But touch on the other side, and then touch on the independence after this too.
Yeah, man. I think like it's just very important to keep grounded, you know, and have a solid structure around you guys, you know. So I'll make like a very loose example. It's a big one, it's an embarrassing one, but it's like I'm still here, you know. Let's just like show you guys. Like leading up to my fight with Casper, that was like the most PR like I ever got it. You know what I'm saying? It's like people who weren't hip hop fans are now like tuned into what I'm doing. People who are sports fans are tuned in. People from other countries, like everyone is just like waiting to see what's happening. But as a result, I'm also getting attention from like everybody. You know, like women that you guys wouldn't think about, like DMing me. I was like, oh damn, okay. There's just like a lot of public interest. Like and this is before the fight, you know. It's just like it's a lot of interest. There's like brand deals. There's people who are offering me money now. It's just like it's all of that stuff. Right, and then you lose a fight. And I'm telling you, like, all those women that were in the DMs, all those brand deals, all that stuff, it all went away. Meaning that like, they only like the idea of what I looked like as a winner. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't like the struggle. And the only person that was there for me in that time was like my wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally, I'm telling you. Everybody that was asking me for a ticket on the night off, like everyone that wanted to walk on stage with me and like just, you know, all of those people disappeared. And like the only people that were with me were my family and the people who loved me. So I think that's just a reminder to say like, guys, all this other stuff, the fly cars, the jewelry, that don't mean shit. And I'm trying to say this respectfully, and I hope I can say it and articulate it in the right way. Like on the outside end, someone like Ricky Rick had everything. He had everything. He had the jewelry. He had the crib go waterfall. Every time he pulled up, he was a showstopper. But like when you're dealing with your demons at home or in your mind, the demons in your mind, not really at home. It's just like, who got you? And for me, it was my family and it was God. You know, so it's like what keeps me grounded is like real life shit. That's why like, you know, I used to have a homie who always used to he always used to like shit on me. It's like, dog, like every day you're looking fresh, but you don't take pictures, dog. You know, you need a constant like cameraman around you, whatever. But like for me, it's like I actually don't like that. Like me and Butte get offered like reality shows every other month. I'm talking about millions. We have never said yes to it because I don't care about that. I don't care about being seen. I don't care about being the hottest. You know, I care about like being the father that my daughter loves. You know what I'm saying? I care about that. That's stuff that's like dear to me. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like MK mentioned, it's like, yo, I'm a dog guy. I like pit bulls. I got pit bulls. You know, we're breeding pit bulls at some time. I like the gushesha. If you're looking at my Insta stories, it's like gushes. It's like those are things that I care about. But it's also like finding things outside of the work that you can focus on and be passionate about. Because the work can be very stressful. And now if you don't have an outlet, like that's when we start abusing drugs. That's when we, you know, get caught up in the wrong crowds. And that's when we lose ourselves, you know. So like I think just to recenter yourself and bring yourself towards yourself is like remembering, you know, like who are you when there's no cameras around? You know what I'm saying? And that's what holds me. Like before the drip is on, before the jewelry is on, like how does my daughter look at me? How does my mom look at me? How does my dama look at me? You know? Like people that I really care about, people that are the reason that I'm here. Like I can't care about like trending. I can't care about whatever else people care about. And I'm also not saying, guys, that you're wrong for caring about what you care about. I'm just talking about myself, you know what I'm saying? And what I cared about is family, the people that I love, this art thing that I'm doing. Hip-hop saved my life, you know what I'm saying? It saved me from like being in the streets. It saved me from being caught up in the wrong crowds. It saved me from so many things, you know? But I feel like I'm babbling.
Shout out. Tell us about now because I want the legend to also say something, dope to say something, Young Sarana, just to some few words. But before we go there, but you go independently, what can we expect from the run? You hear a lot of people like, yo, they were holding me back. Now they're free, we don't hear nothing. So just tell us, you know, from an overview angle, what can we expect from you being free now?
Yeah, man, it's like you know, there's a lot of deals on the table. I'll tell you that for sure. You know, there's a lot of big labels that are reaching out to me. There's a lot of international labels looking out to me, and it's also humbling, you know, to know that like, oh damn, these people see this much value in me. Like, there's people who are offering me like X amount for a song, you know. But I think what's very important, like artists, and I think what we get wrong as artists, like often we go to like the label who's offering us the most money. And I'm going to be honest with you, like a lot of you upcoming artists are not going to get any money. Labels are not giving you no advances. Like maybe like if you should come dope, if you have like a track record of like platinum singles and hits and whatever, you got leverage. If you A-Reese, got streams or whatever, you got leverage. Nasty C, you got leverage. I now have leverage. I got my plaques, I got my streams, I got this. I have proof of concept. I can go and show brands and like, yo man, I was able to get people to pull up for me in a day or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's like things that you get to use. But like, so often what we do is that we go to the label that give us the most amount of money, and I think that's the wrong thing. For me, like, I'm actually like, you need to go there with like with a 5-year plan, 3-year plan, 5-year plan, 10-year plan, and then find the label that's trying that, or find whoever that's trying to plug into what you're doing over the next 10 years. I'm not telling you that like, yo, I'm gonna give you X amount for your masters. You're never gonna see that cent. Like, I've never seen a cent from Jack. You know what I'm saying? And I don't care to see the cent from Nayano. You know, that's like money that builds up over time or whatever. You know, it's like, don't worry about that. You know, 1 million streams in South Africa equates to 36,000 rand. So it's like, yeah, I'm sitting on millions of streams, but it's like, I also gotta break that money with her, cut the lights, with all the producers, the label, the managers, the whoever, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, but going forward, it's just like, I was just letting you guys know that like the options are there. There's many things I can do. There's a lot of labels that are hollering, but we really are trying to do the independent route. And this is one of the first exercises that we're doing to show us like, okay, can we host the show? Okay, now we're hosting the show. I know this is the listening session. Next time we're going to give you guys an experience. Next time we can go to brands and give you more, give you a lineup, bring more people, you know what I'm saying? So documentary dropping very, very soon. You know, I've documented my life over the last 15 years plus, you know, so there's a lot of footage. Documentary coming through. You guys can see me in some films. Diversify also, don't be one thing. I'm just giving advice to you guys, you know what I'm saying? It's like, because when COVID hits, there aren't multiple you know, when you need to pay your rent and you don't have multiple income streams all the time. Hip-hop is not popping. What are you going to do? You know what I'm saying? So like, just if we're artists and creatives, like create and be artistic and be creative, you know? Find other ways to generate revenue. So yeah, you guys can see us doing like a lot more things. Myself and her cut the lights about music dropping. Also, you know, there's a Herc and Priddy tape, you know. There's a Herc and there's a Priddy and Zoo something, you know. There's a lot of music. That's just me saying there's a lot, bro.
I just want to touch on the artist, you know, maneuvering this thing, because obviously mentally that tends to be like a thing. Zuchi, tell us a little bit about like how do you maneuver through this thing, man? Because I think we spoke about like people getting depressed and having to deal with certain situations that might be difficult in their lives. How do you advise the kids? How do you move through this thing, man?
You caught me by surprise.
I got you.
But first of all, Pretty Ugly has been my brother. The album that he just mentioned, Anxiety. I sent this man a song, and again, what he praises in less than 24 hours. I had a verse called for a song called Afterlife, and since then we've been tapped in. Like, me and Pretty Ugly go so way back, before we even had a picture together, you know. We were having dinner together with the mothers of our children, you know, and this is before we even had a picture together on social media. Like, I was mixing his album, Soil at the time, and you know, we were signed to the same label. And before I even answer your question, brother, I'm proud of this man because the struggle that he went through is something I understand 100%. And watching how you've come out of it and how you've handled it, you know, I think I might have handled it a bit crazy. Some of y'all might know what I've done online, but you know, I'm a bit more vocal more than Pretty. Pretty's got more composure than me. But I'm proud of you, brother, and to see you like this and to see your new energy is something I envy, not because I'm jealous, but because I am proud of you as a brother, man. And I'd like to say, going forward, I want to see you win. I want to see who you are, and I want to see who I've always believed you to be, brother. And I'm so proud of you. And thank you, everybody, for supporting this man. This is a real one. It's my brother, you know. Now, Herc too, man. Like a round of applause for Herc. Herc too. When I met Pretty Ugly, he introduced Herc as how he always introduces him with the utmost respect. You know, that's his brother. And when we're mixing the album Soil, he was like, "Yo, anything I do, Herc has to be a part of. You know, you gotta work with Herc on this album." And I was a person who never worked with nobody, you know. And as I said, we're in the same label, and you know, I met the brothers. I got to understand them. There was even a point where we started arguing in the studio, and I stormed out, and you know, stuff like that. But over the years, because we were caught up in the same type of situation, and we all understood each other, we built solidarity together, and today we're brothers, man. Every time I see Herc, it's love. Every time I see Cardo, it's love, and you know. To even answer MK's question, like that's how I feel like you need to stay grounded, you know, like to be a real person outside of this thing, because most of the time when you meet people, it's like there's a saying where it's like you need to know how to get off stage. Don't be the guy who never got off stage. You meet people outside, or you meet people in the streets, and you're still on stage. You think you're better than people. You think people are looking at you. Just be a real person, man, because there are people out there, there's doctors, bro, who save people's lives every day. I don't think music is that important that you'd go around acting better than people just because you make it, you know. And in terms of keeping your mind right, one thing you guys got to remember, we're Africans, you know. Yeah. And there's a power in that. We shouldn't let Eurocentric ideas and Eurocentric things keep us down, things that we introduced. I made an album called Anxiety, but like looking back at it now, there's a kind of shame I feel, because I feel like I gave people a crutch, you know, instead of facing your challenges head on and remembering that you're an African child and there's a power in that. You give up to mental ideas that are not real, you know. Imagine if right now it was back in the day, before the buildings, before technology and stuff, and there were people coming to our village to kidnap women and to make children slaves and to kill all the men. Do you want to be the African man that's got anxiety and you don't want to go outside and fight?
No. Hell nah.
You know? Do you want to fight for your family? Do you want to fight for your life? Or are you the anxious guy? You know? So I say that to say this. Mental things, as much as they weigh heavy on us, you must always remember, man, there's a power in rising above. And there's a power in believing yourself, and there's a power in being African and knowing that every single day I have to get up and make a better life for my family, and that's all that matters. Life has challenges. Whatever challenge you face, there's a bigger one coming in 5 years and you're going to forget this one. Whatever challenge you face today, there's a bigger one in 15 years and you would have forgotten about the one you face today. Just bob and weave and keep moving, man. Thank you, everybody, for supporting my brother again.
This is the Buka. It's a library. They open weekdays. The hours are on the window. Come check them out. They got free internet. They interested in hearing your stories. It's actually a French institute. They want to do an exchange with guys like you who are artists and whatnot. That's the reason why we're here. We partner with them. But Gidi Buka, they're here. They open. So feel free at any time to pop in. We Empty Space. We're a creative agency. We upstairs. We facilitate creative stuff. Activations and stuff like that, so we were pretty ugly tonight. So shout out to you guys for coming through. I think this should be the last ride. You feel me? You wanna say something pretty before we shut down?
Yeah, man, you guys are amazing. We got like another hour upstairs here. You know, you can go out.
Yes, we got drinks upstairs. We're gonna drink
upstairs. We got you know, Her Cut the Lights is gonna be playing some exclusives. We got Uncle Party Time who's also gonna come and do a fire set. Nonetheless, dog, it's like you guys are gonna hear a lot of music that I didn't play on the deluxe that Herc is gonna be playing. You know, just to like let you know that, guys, there's a lot of music. There's a lot of music. And again, thank you guys for being out here. Majida, if you came in with a lady, please make sure the ladies get home safely. Ladies, you guys are looking amazing. You guys are looking beautiful. Thank you to everybody, every single person, like literally who's in here. God be with you. I hope when you leave here, you leave here safely. Look, we weren't gonna do like a Q&A, but like, don't like let's go upstairs, let's go vibe out. I'll be on my social media tomorrow. You guys can like ask me a whole bunch of questions. I'll answer whatever you guys want to know. But the music is out. It's out at midnight. It's called Deluxe, produced by Mash Beats. Let's cut the lights. Candy Mash. Tell a little hot up into my
From Square. We're at the Brom Square at the audio session, listening session. It's Dusty Dula outside. You should check it, man. Very dope.